Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about stress because it's so killer for so many people, and obviously stress is something you can't get away from. Everybody has stress in their lives, whether it's like a little bit of stress or a lot of stress, um, and so it affects your mental state so much, like your level of stress and especially I think constant stress or chronic stress, not like, oh man, I have like a few bad weeks. Like if you're just constantly under stress day in, day out for like months or years at a time, it really takes a toll on you physically and mentally. And I know they did studies like a long time ago about this, and I can't even remember like who did it or what they're called or whatever. But basically, like all these different kinds of life events, they kind of like are on a scale of like how stressful they are. And the big ones, of course, are like a death in the family, a divorce, like a serious personal illness, stuff like that. And the more things that you have over the course of like a year, your stress level, of course, is higher. And the higher it is, the more likely you are to become sick, and just the worse off your mental state is likely to be. Now that kind of seems obvious, I guess. Oh, you're stressed out and so your mental state is bad. But really, like, I can speak to that a lot because me personally, in the last 2 years, I'd say my stress level has been like way up here constantly, and it goes down a little bit once in a while, but for the most part, it stays like up here. And that in large part is because I had my son, who is my third child. So I had twins already, which is tough. And then I had my son. And that was just like the icing on the cake. Now, don't get me wrong, I love all my kids. They're all great. I would not change them or anything, or, go back and not have them. But that event in my life changed everything big time and made my stress just peak at that level, and now it stays there. Because as anybody who has kids knows, even if you only have one kid, they need constant care and attention, especially when they're little. And so I can never ever get away from that. I am with my son all the time. And all three of my kids, which I'm not going to get into this too much, they have their own issues. And so my kids aren't like the average normal kid. They have a lot of stuff that I have to deal with that other kids don't necessarily deal with. And so it's not like, oh, I have one kind of sort of difficult child. I have three. So not only am I dealing with my own mental stuff going on, but I have to take care of three young children that have their stuff going on. And that is really hard. It's really hard. And as I said in a video not very long ago, my husband and I are now splitting up. And so that makes it even more stressful. But the weird thing about it is, with our personal situation, the way that my husband's job is, for the past like 5 years, he's been gone about 75% of the time. For real. Most of the week, every week, he's gone. And he'd be home on the weekends. So he was there very minimally, and when he was there, a lot of the time he didn't help or do anything. It just kind of went downhill over the years, especially after my son came. I got no help from my husband at all. I did everything, the cooking, the cleaning. I took care of all the kids, all the appointments, all the finances, literally everything. It just fell on me. And of course I wasn't sleeping because I had a newborn, and my health was not great because I was under constant stress and all this stuff. So essentially, I'm at the point now where my stress level is so high that I'm pretty much burned out. I'm finding it really hard to muster up energy just to kind of go about my daily routine of life. And stuff is kind of like falling through the cracks and falling by the wayside, and that's not like me at all. I'm normally very organized, very on top of stuff. I'm the manager of everything in my home, and I always have been, just because I'm good at doing stuff like that. But now it's like I just can't do it. It's so much stuff for one person to do. And so it's tough. And I find myself tired and fatigued mentally and physically a lot, especially in the last like month or two. It's really, really gotten up there. And I'm like, oh man. And I wouldn't even necessarily say I'm depressed. I don't really feel depressed. There are some moments here and there where I'm like, oh, just because of my life situation right now. But I would say it's just more like kind of like ambivalence, I guess you could say, because I'm just like, this is the way it is. Like, what can I do about it? There are some things I can do, but there's a lot of things that I can't do anything about. I can't do anything about the fact that I am alone with 3 kids. Like, I have to do the best that I can every day to manage all the things that I need to do because I have essentially been a single parent for the last 5 years with like a little minimal tiny bit of help from my husband. You know, here's the amount of work I did and here's like the amount of work that he did. So, yeah, just a comment, I guess, on stress in our lives. Everybody's stress is different, whether it's kids, whether it's you got money issues, whether it's, you know, you got personal health problems, which obviously we're all making like videos on our mental health, right? So we all got that issue going on. Um, but it's just so hard, and pretty much every single day I'm like, okay, I'm trying to find like positive things and happy things in the day to make my day better and to sort of alleviate the stress and not focus on the stress so much. But there's no getting around it. And until my kids get to be a little bit older, I know that stress is going to be ever present because it's just the logistics of it. I'm one person and I have to take care of 3 people. You know, I only have so many arms. I only have so much time. I only have so many resources that I can give before I'm completely depleted and just tapped out and like I can't give anymore. And so I guess that really it frustrates me because I don't do as well with stuff now as I would like to do, just in general, in life or like as a parent or whatever. You know, I have this idea of like how I want to be, and I always wanted to be that really super involved mom and all of that stuff, which I was for a long time with my twins. I was very involved with them and did everything with them. And then once my son came, it became impossible. I couldn't do everything with them and take care of him and myself and stuff at the same time. It was not feasible. So now pretty much every day I'm trying to break up my time to spend time with this one, spend time with that one, give them all what they need, you know, give them some affection and attention and things like that. But it's very hard to even find a little bit of time to do that every day. And I'm just holding on. I'm like holding on, you know, day by day. I'm getting through, but gosh, it's hard, and it would be nice if it wasn't so dang hard all the time.